to say. We're going to talk about it. Not necessarily what a whea is and a kana. We all know what that is by now. If you haven't heard it on several of these prison channels, if you don't know, now you know. Missives, documents written out for communication, and that's what I'll say about that. But my question is, and what I wanted to talk about, are what if you see your homeboy's name on a kana? What if you see someone that you grew up with, someone who's your taita and your homeboy? What happens? What do you do? Have you ever been put in that situation while you're incarcerated? You're kicking back, wheelas are flying if you're functioning, if you're privileged enough to see a wheela. There's some individuals that get locked up that are not in the position to ever put eyes on a wheela and to know the information that's inside of them. If you're some high-powered individual or someone who's about that's in the right position to either write a wheela or lay eyes on one, then you're privileged enough to know the information within. Some of this information can be incriminating. Some of it can be damaging. Some of it you want to get the hell out of your guard. What? Get this up out of my cell right now, right? You want to get it up out your cell because, you just want to put your little 2 cents in. And so let's get this moving. This right here could damage my whole career for a long time. But what happens, because I know there's been situations and circumstances when you see maybe a family member, a brother, a camarada, a taita, one of your best friends on a wheela, and it ain't a good situation. How would you react to that? I've been in a position where I've seen some of my best friends' names on wheelas, and it wasn't because they were in good standings. How did I react? What does that do? That gives you options. Sometimes you have options. Sometimes if your good fucking close homeboy is going to be removed, and it's justifiable. He's done something dumb. You're like, damn, bro. This is my homeboy I've known with my day oneer. You know what I mean? Since a motherfucking young kid. Pampers, huggies, right? And now we're both in a position where he's going to be on the outside looking in, and I'm on the inside looking out. Do you take the initiative to go ahead and handle that because if you put tips and you put hands on him, or you're involved in that removal on your own good close friend or family member, you have the option or the chance of letting him live, trying to prevent as much damage as you can? Or do you step up to the plate and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and handle that. I'm going to show everybody exactly what I'm all about and what this cause means. I've seen it happen on several occasions where individuals get put on paper and their time has come. It's unfortunate, but their time has come, whether it's justifiable or not. Their time has fucking come. The movie American Me, where big puppet kills little puppet, is that asked of you every time you got to kill your own camarada, or when they ask Pie Face to kill? Not every time. In a lot of these instances, people don't even compute that that's your family member or your brother, unless you guys go in there together, your crime partners. Hey, this is my canalito, Holmes. Oh, I guess what? He fucked up. Huh? Beat him up one time for your mind. Would you take the initiative to beat him up because you know that if you beat him up, you're not going to do him as dirty as someone that doesn't have there's no loyalty there. There's no love. They're going to do him way dirtier because they don't care. They're going to make an example. There's a lot of individuals waiting to make examples, and it's a cold game. But I wanted to tell a story about one time a wheela. A wheela hits the cell in Tracy, DVI, and there's a name on it of a vaulto that I've known that I grew up with. And I remember seeing it, and it wasn't actually a wheela. It was actually the B&Ls, which is, a bad news list. It's just a list of names with a lot of individuals that are in bad standings, or they're questioned, or being questioned, or whatever the case may be. You just a list you don't want to be on. It's the naughty list. Que no Santa Claus, right? It's what it is. It's the naughty list. And you just definitely don't want to be in it or on it. And in the menudo style, you're peeping it out, and all of a sudden your eyes lock on a name. A name you're like, wow, this is my primo, or this is my brother, or this is my my homeboy. Shit, so what are you doing? Why? I said, why? Guard! What? My homeboy's name's on the B&L. Because he's a bitch. Is he? You know what I mean? You don't know what to say. But one thing you know for sure is it blows your mind to see someone's name like that on paper that you carried with high esteem. You're like, damn, that's my homeboy. Shit, he's a real one, It's happened to me before in Tracy, where I was in a position where I had to make that next move, my best move, where I had to say what to do to this guy. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I showed a little bit of favoritism. You know, I manipulated the facts a little bit, twisted the facts. Now, if someone's already on the bad news list, they're already established, it's been like that. You know, it blows your mind too, because maybe it makes you aware. This Vato could be on the calles running amok, doing his thing. Says, we were just at the carne asada 2 weeks ago. Says, so I knew I should have boned this old lady. He wasn't good. He wasn't in good standings, right? All kinds of different things. And then you come to find out, man, this guy's no good, man. This guy's, he's trash. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel any different? Just 2 weeks ago, it was the homeboy. You guys were popping tops off beers, man, kicking back. And now you see his name on a little old piece of paper, and it's like, fuck, he deceived me. He got over on me, right? These are a lot of circumstances, a lot of things you go through while in prison or when you're part of the game. You know, you're going to see some things that are going to break your heart. Heartbreakers. Things that you never thought you'd see. Individuals get played out of pocket, or individuals play themselves out of pocket that you never thought you'd see. And you're like, wow, how can this guy, you know, go that route? How can you go ass out backwards? But it happens in everyday life. You know, it happens, and it's just what it is. Now, let me tell you, when I was in YA, the homeboy Chino from Stockton pulled up, right? The homeboy Chino from Stockton pulled up. And I remember, man, he was all high power. He had come from Chad. Why he came to Carl Holton, I don't know. Usually you go from Carl Holton to Chad, but Defensa Latina. He came this way. And so he gets the Tejon, which was a hall. And he's like, hey, he's over there. Immediately, he's over there trying to be some type of shot caller or some influencer or whatever he was. No, I didn't say YouTube influencer. I said an influencer. So he's doing his thing. And a lot of homeboys are looking up to him. He's 18 years old. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit more seasoned. So he pretty much takes the reins over there, and he's doing his thing. Now we're hearing about it. I'm over on Tioga. We're hearing about it. And I got a homeboy from my Waterloo that happens to be over there. My homeboy Squeaky, rest in peace, right? He happens to be over there. And, you know, Squeaky's been about that action. Ever since he's been away, he's been about that action. Always stood firm in his beliefs, man. Always on the forefront. Always handling his business. There's not even a question with Big Squeaks. You already knew what time it was, man. He was kind of a J-Cat, man. It's my boy. But he's down for whatever, or was down for whatever, right? He recently was murdered. But anyways, so this Vato fucking, he's over there, and I start to hear, you know, a little bit about him, man, and I see his name on paper. They shoot wheelas to everyone, and one of the wheelas says, hey, we're about to drop this Vato Leva. What, motherfucker? Right? I need to transfer over there, quick. So I told the Vato to meet up with me and another homeboy, the Salas, in the church area. That was the one area where we could meet up, communicate, chop it up with other compas, people that we didn't necessarily see as much. For some reason, I wasn't catching this guy in the school area. Oh, I was fucking searching, con fucking goggles y todo. But I just didn't see him. So I shot a wheel over to him. Hey, meet me in church. I need to get at you. One time for your mind. So, of course, he pulls up. Before he pulls out, he's like, what's happening, homie? And I was like, hey, you're Chino, mucho gusto, what's up, saludos, all that, bro. You know, it's not but love. We're representing the same thing here. Now, at the same time, what's up with you, my homeboy? Let's cut straight to the chase. He says, yeah, the Vato's fucking a knack, bro, and this, and that. And not but slandering words on a homeboy from my neighborhood that I know to be a real individual that I've rocked with on the streets as well as in prison or in YA, that I know to be about that action, Holmes, that I know will beat this guy up pretty easily. You know what I mean? Just so I could say, I mean, I respect you, but at the same time, my homeboy will dust you and disgust you. E40. You know what I mean? And the click. So I start to get at him, and I'm feeling some type of way because he keeps slandering my homeboy. Yeah, he's over there acting like a knack. He's a J-Cat. He's like, okay, my homeboy's he's a little J-Cat-ish, right? But at the same time, it's my homeboy from my neighborhood. Now, I'm not trying to have you show favoritism or individualism or nothing like that. But I am saying, bro, take into account that you have several homeboys from your neighborhood over on my compound, and the wind blows over there. You know what I mean? There's influencers over there as well, you know, that are not, you know. So basically, it was like, you fuck with me, I'm a fuck with yours. Tit for tat. Which was very unfortunate because we're talking about people's lives here. We're talking about good dudes that are just eating the sopa, right? We're playing with their lives. That's how power tripping we were. That's how stupid we were as kids, thinking that we could play with people's lives. And we could at that point because we were in positions to do so. Ultimately, his name got took off paper. It worked out. They end up becoming close. They end up becoming cool, man. He realized one day I see him in the school. I did catch up. Fine. Now all of a sudden I can catch up with him in the school area, huh? Ain't that funny how that shit works, right? And he's like, oh yeah, bro. Hey, Squeaksy is a good dude, bro. He's solid. I said, I told you, bro. You were about to make a ghastly and an unjustifiable decision that was going to impact every homeboy you had from this point forward, right? And that's just what it was, man. And I'm not saying that because I was the big badass wolf, but that's how I felt at that time. Well, years pass, and I see a homeboy's name on paper, and I'm sitting in Tracy. And he's someone, again, I grew up with, not necessarily from my water, but from a water that I kicked it with, you know, on the calles. And I had to make a split decision. What am I going to do? Am I going to put the dogs on him, right? Does he have to go? Well, the answer was, yes, he did have to go. He put himself in that position, a position I have now put myself in on paper. When it comes to that point, nothing is bigger than the cause. No one man is bigger than the group. You know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Spence on la tira, that's part of the game. That's part of prison life. It's part of politics. That's part of the get down. You know, if you want to play the game, you got to master that motherfucker like Sidney Sheldon. You can't just be in there, you know, half stepping. And whatever led up to your demise, well, that's your demise, bro. I'm just playing the game, right? So I've been in a position where I had to do that. Again, I've been in positions where I've seen people on the BNLs very close to me, family members. You know what I mean? Where I had the option to scratch their name on and protect them there, and I didn't. I didn't because I'm a true belief in every grown man must rock and ride on his words and what he's done in his life. You know, and everyone else shouldn't be responsible for what you've done. You know, have you ever been in that position? Have you ever had to remove one of your own homeboys? You know, DPing is different. Vatos get DP'd all day long. You know, if a Vato needs a little discipline, sometimes a little checking is good. Sometimes you need to get their mind right so they can shine right. Sometimes they're all high off scante, or they're not thinking straight, and they're saying things and doing things that they not necessarily would have done, you know, if they weren't. And that's understandable, man. You don't hate them for it. You want to help them, you know. So there's certain situations where you have to DP someone or check them. And that's a fine thing. But when it comes to the point, man, that this Vato needs to be eradicated or removed permanently, that's a hard decision to make. It's a decision not everybody has been faced with. And it's a decision not everybody can make. Well, prison's like that. It's a harsh reality. The harsh reality is you're expendable. Every man is expendable, man. Your life don't mean more than my life, and my life don't mean more than your life. Doesn't matter about what position you're in. Doesn't matter about who you think you are or what you think you are. At the end of the day, man, everyone can get got. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way. Because the same things people are getting got for in there, they doing out here all day long. Smoking a little this out, you know what I mean? Twisting and twirling the piezo. They go in there off that hard stuff, and man, or at least that's how it used to be. I don't know how it is now. And I'm not going to speak on it. But what I will say is this. To see a good friend get removed in front of your eyes, getting blasted, man, with steel, it hurts your heart, man. You have to go back to that cell. And you start to think about when you were kids, or the things that you've done in life together, and you know the moves you made, and how that Vato could have told on you guys when you stole the car, but he didn't. He stood solid, and it makes you upset. At first, you're sad. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in the position. I've been in all these positions. You know, I've seen a homeboy get blasted, gurneyed off that motherfucker, right? And I'm like, damn, bro. You know, it's a sad thing. I'm feeling bad for the homeboy. Like, damn. And then I start to get upset and angry. Well, he fucked up, man. Darn! Stop calling me. Hey, he fucked up. Yeah, you're about to fuck up too. Goon Squad's gonna go in there. Strike that. Reverse it. Like, he fucked up. I mean, yeah, you know. It becomes like that where you start to get angry and upset at him. Like, man, he did that to himself, bro. You know? But really, in the end, it's an upsetting thing all the way around. You know? That other people is going to dictate your program. You know, it could be someone just threw his name on there because they didn't like him. Let me tell you a story. I've told this story in the past, but I'm going to tell it one more again because it's really relevant to what I'm saying right here. I'm in the county jail on the block. The block, dangerous, treacherous. Merced County, don't go there if you don't need to go there. I promise you that, right? Nothing but active homeboys functioning like to the motherfucking fullest, right? The highest degree of functioning. We're about that. And chilling, doing my thing, and a homeboy's in there. Now, this is a close homeboy of mine. Shit, I seen him out there like 2 weeks before. He was off the twirly bird, right? But he's the homie. I see him in there. He's doing his thing, man. And I'm in a position, self-security, I'm in a position where, you know, I need to right when he gets in, he's got to take these certain things that he's got to do and shoot him down the theater, and he got to get cleared. Okay, put it like that. He's got to get cleared before he can function within the household, before he can join the reindeer games. His name comes up on a list with the question mark. Basically, he's on freeze. He's on ice. His name's in question. We put him through some loops, some holes, some questionnaires, some things. Eventually, what happens is he gets pulled out of the cell to go to medical, and a homeboy makes a rash decision. He says, hey, if this volatile comes back from medical, we're going to clear him. Because he knows he's under investigation. He knows it's all bad over here. And I mean, it was all bad. We were already fucking building weaponry. Like, if he would have only known what was going to happen to him, I wouldn't have came back. Right? So this volatile, he came back. He got cleared. Ultimately, what we came to find out was a guy that was in a position, a high-ranking position, several months before, had his hands on these BNLs, and he was putting people's names on there just to do it, people he didn't like. And he happened to put this guy's name on there just because this guy's brother knocked his old lady. It'd be like that sometimes. So you never know. You got to give everyone their due process. But man, how hurtful it is when you see your brother or your cousin or your father, his name on this list. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do but prevent. If you're in a position that you can prevent, as much pain as you can from them, then you take the initiative to do that if that's the type of individual you are. But most individuals in prison are so cold-hearted and just, on their own, trying to do their own thing, that they're going to let you fucking drown. I said, help me, I can't backstroke, bitch. You know what I mean? Like I am. I'm a backstroke away from you. I'm cool. And I slide, and I slide, and I slide. You know what I mean? Vatos will slide away from you. They don't want what you're going through to affect them. That happens even here on YouTube, When people are going through some things or whatever, a lot of people distance themselves because they don't want stuff to affect them. It's not because they hate you. It's not because you're not their friend or because they don't like you. It's just there's too much going on, bro. People don't want to be involved in the drama, if you feel me. And that's how it is. The same thing, man. If your name's on that list, it got on there some sort of way. I don't know if they used a pencil, a pen, a crayon, whatever. That motherfucker's on there, bro. And that's what separates me from you, And, their burdens can't be your burdens. But, it's just an unfortunate situation. I know people have been through it where you look at the lista and you're like, fuck, how did my homeboy end up there? He's such a good dude, right? Well, if he was a good dude, he'd be getting his ass up every day going to work. That's a good dude. No, you play the game, Hums. You better play it righteously, because if not, the game's going to bite you. Jaws. You already know what it is. Anyways, gente, with that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. What would you do if you seen your fucking canalito's name on a lista and he was going to be got? Would you take the initiative and handle it? Or would you warn him? Or would you get put on the list with him? What would you do? These are things people don't think about. These are harsh realities of prison. What would you do? Honestly, leave a comment. Like and subscribe. Hit me with that thumbs up if you fuck with your boy. If not, you can hit me with that thumbs down. If he's going to be dead. Now, where's the crown? I'm continuing to struggle and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the coming together of all people.